here today. We're going to talk about the Get Up. We're going to basically dissect it, take it apart, talk about all the different positions and all the different whys for each of the positions. As you guys all know, it is definitely by far my favorite movement. It includes a press, a hinge, a reverse lunge, core tension throughout the entire time. It's an overhead loaded carry, time under tension, so many different things that it really hits and targets. Lots of different intentions behind this movement, so total body. The Get Up has gotten a lot of attention for being an unnecessary movement, maybe not the best movement. I strongly disagree with that. I feel like there's a lot of good things about it. You can do the entire Get Up, you can do parts of it, and you can get so many different things out of any way that you do it, any way that you take it apart. So we know that time under tension is the best way to gain strength, and the Turkish Get Up or the Get Up definitely embodies that throughout the whole time. So why don't I start just by basically doing a Get Up on one side from like a full Get Up from the ground to standing and then back down again. And then we'll look at each part of it, okay? So. Okay, so that is the Get Up. Hopefully this is a good angle for you to see all the positions in it. But that's the whole thing, and that's on one side. So you would, depending on the workout, you would basically finish on one side, safely move the bell over to the other side, and then complete the same movements on that side. So let's take it apart. First thing we're going to talk about is how you're getting the bell up into that overhead position. So you're going to basically be on your side in like fetal position. The bell should be at your belly button, really. So you would hold the bell handle with the hand that's going to be pressing up overhead. So you'll grip the bell handle, the other hand is going to come over top of that hand, and then you're going to come to your back. So you're going to go from your side and roll to your back with the bell on your belly. And then you're going to use two hands to press the bell straight up. And that's your press. So that looks like this. Actually, if I turn this way, might be better. So you're on your side, fetal position. My right hand is gripping the handle of the bell. My left hand comes over top. I roll to my back. See how the bell is at my belly? It's not up at my chest, okay? I'm gonna use two hands then to press the bell up. Once I get the bell up into the air and my elbow is locked out, then that other hand, my left hand, can come down to the ground, okay? And then also you'll notice that my left leg has dropped too. So it's always the same hand, the same side, the same hand that's up in the air holding the bell, that's the knee that's going to be up, and that foot is going to be posted on the ground, okay? So good, so you have that position where you're bringing the bell to your stomach, pressing it up with two hands, and then the other hand is dropping to the side. And as I said, it's going down at about a 45-degree angle off of your body. So when I'm laying on my back, and this hand is straight up in the air with the bell, this hand is coming down about 45 degrees off of my body. It's not up here at 90. It's not up here at more than 90, okay? It's about 45 degrees from my body. And there's a reason for that, okay? And the reason for that is when we go up to our elbow and then we come up to posting our hand, okay, to tall sitting position. We are using different parts of our body, obviously our core and everything, to roll up onto the elbow and the hand. But we want to come up to the elbow and the hand, and we want to keep this shoulder packed. We want to keep our shoulder away from our ear. So if our hand is all the way up here and we're pressing up, then you're more likely to get that shoulder close to your ear position, okay? So if I go back into the get up, okay? Bell to the stomach, press up with 2 hands, drop that hand and that leg, okay? I'm going to press into the ground with this elbow, okay? I'm going to press into the ground with this posted foot, and I'm going to roll over and then up, okay, to come to my elbow, okay? So you'll notice that I'm tall. My hands are really pressing apart from each other. I'm pressing the bell up to the air, keeping the posted elbow, that shoulder, away from my ear, okay? And I'm gonna flatten my hand, okay? And I'm gonna push up to tall sitting position, okay? So we're going from the bell on our stomach, on our belly, pressing up, dropping our hand and our foot, okay? Pressing into the ground with our elbow and our posted foot, pushing up to that elbow, and then pushing up to our posted hand, sitting tall position, okay? And you'll notice too, I'm looking up at the bell the entire time. I'm not looking forward, okay? Wherever your eyes are looking, that's where the bell is gonna go. That's where your body's gonna go. So another important thing to think about when you get to, I'm hoping you guys can see all of this. Okay, another important thing to think about when I'm pushing up onto my elbow, you'll notice I'm making a fist here. I'm creating tension, okay? So I'm pushing in here, okay? Opening my chest, keeping everything open and tall, okay? I'm gonna post my hand on the ground, and I'm gonna push up. And when I get up here, I'm not gonna leave my fingers facing this way. I'm gonna turn, okay, on my palm. Okay, so now my fingers are facing back. And that's also gonna help keep my elbow, or my shoulder, away from my ear, okay? So once I get to this position here, I'm still looking up at the bell, I'm gonna next pull this straight leg. It's gonna come through, and I'm gonna keep it in line with this hand, okay? So you're gonna push up, okay? You can do bridge. You'll see some people who do a tall bridge here. I'm gonna just push up onto this posted leg and this hand, okay? And I'm gonna pull that leg through, okay? So you'll notice there's a straight line here, going from my hand to my knee to my toes in the back. And you'll see too, I turn this way, my toes are tucked. You always wanna keep your toes tucked, okay? So I'm here. So I pulled that straight leg through. I've made this nice straight line here, okay? And now I'm gonna hinge, okay? So I'm still looking up at the bell, okay? And I'm gonna hinge back, okay, into my hips. So the weight is now transferred from being over this hand, okay, to now being over my hips. So I can take this hand away now, okay? And that's what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna take this hand away, and I'm gonna push up, okay, to half kneeling. But from here, okay, you can either swipe that back leg to get into a lunge position, okay, or you can step forward, okay? So you can see those two differences, stepping to get into that lunge position or swiping that back leg, okay? So we're gonna come here so you can see. So from here, now you'll notice that I'm looking forward, okay? I'm no longer looking up at the bell, okay? So I can do that now because I'm only going up to standing and then coming back down again. I'm not turning and rotating my shoulder or anything, okay? So from here, I'm going to push through the ball of my foot and my toes on my back leg and push through the heel in my front leg to come up to standing, okay? Good. So from this position here, I'm going to tap my leg with my free hand. So So this hand, again, is holding the bell, holding the weight, okay? So this is my reminder that this is the leg that's gonna lunge back, okay? This is the leg that was back before I came up. Same leg is going back, okay? So free hand taps that leg, lunge back, okay? Make sure you're keeping your stance hip width distance apart here. You don't wanna be like on a train track, trying to balance here, okay? So you're here. So a lot of times you'll see people coming down from the get up. They go from this position here to here. And we don't want to do that, okay? The impact on the shoulder, posting that hand, no good. You're not keeping the weight centered over your body. And imagine you're doing the get up ultimately with heavy weight overhead. So this is an unsafe movement to just kind of flop over like that, okay? So what we want to do is we want to hinge again. So again, you're either going to step out to open up your hips, or you're going to swipe that back leg, like we talked about before. So I'm going to step out so you can see. So my hips are open here now, so I can hinge. So I'm going to hinge back. I'm going to come back, sit back on that back leg again. Again, my toes in the back are tucked, okay? Bell's up overhead. I'm looking up overhead. Also notice that rotation in my shoulder as I come down in that hinge, okay? So I'm here. So this hand is going to draw that line again from my toes to my knee, straight out in front of me. Notice I'm staying in the hinge still at this point. Okay, posting that hand straight out, reaching out as far as I can while staying in the hinge. Okay, then I'm going to come out of the hinge. And the weight is now transferred again back over that hand that's posted. Okay, so from here, now I can take this knee off the ground because I'm pushing through the ground with this foot and this hand. So I'm releasing this leg and this hip to push through straight again. Sit down, nice and tall again, okay? Chest is open, bell is up high, I'm looking up ahead, up at the bell, okay? So I'm gonna pivot that hand, okay? So that I can come back to my elbow, and then back to the back again, okay? So then from here, this hand comes up, over top of the other hand, okay, your knee comes up, you can safely bring the bell back down, and then roll to that side again, and park the bell, okay? So that's the get up on one side, and again, you would go from doing the whole thing from the ground to standing, back down again, and then safely bring the bell over to the other side to do the other side. How do you bring the bell safely to the other side? You're not gonna just toss it over in front of you, across your body. You're going to see if you're on this side here, you're going to park the bell, you're going to grab the horns and you're going to slide it around to the other side. And then you can grip it again at the belly with your left hand, and the right hand comes over. Back to your back, bell comes with you. Another way that you can do it is, if I did my get up on this side and I want to come back to the other side again, you're going to just do a little bit of a turn. So you'll come here and flip your body the other way. So those are just two examples of safe ways to get the bell from one side to the other. Of course, you can always stand up and place it on that side too. So we talked about all the different positions. We talked about the transfer of weight and centering the weight over, your posted hand and your hips in different movements. Again, I want to talk a little bit about your shoulder that's holding the weight up overhead. So if we are in this position, we get to tall sitting position, and we're going to pull that straight leg through. So you'll notice the rotation in my shoulder of the hand that is holding the bell up, okay? So I want to keep that up nice and high. So if you're not worrying about it and you're not thinking about it, you're not using any or thinking about any of your intentions with this movement, it's going to look like this, okay? So I kept my shoulder packed, I kept everything straight, but look where the weight is now, okay? So this is no good, okay? So we don't want to do that. What you want to do is you want to get a nice rotation in that shoulder. So you're looking up at the bell, making sure that the bell is staying well up overhead the entire time, and you're going to rotate that shoulder, okay? In and out of that same position. stays up overhead. Okay, so again, if I don't do that, if I don't find that rotation, the bell's gonna come forward, or the weight's gonna come forward, and we don't want that. Okay, so we're gonna keep it up overhead. Okay, thinking other positions that, and again, I just wanna hit on too, that hinge, okay? So we're not dropping, we're not going from half kneeling here and just dropping that hand down to post it, okay? We're going to open up the hips, we're going to hinge, draw that straight line out in front. Come out of the hinge, transfer the weight, okay? Come on. Same thing when you're coming up as when you're going down. Although I find that it makes a bigger difference when we are coming from standing, coming back down again, and people want to just drop into that movement. So again, don't do that. You're going to open the hips, hinge, and then post that hand, come out of the hinge, okay, and then sit through. Okay? So I find that for me, one of the reasons why I like this movement, it's very particular, very precise movements throughout the whole thing. I can use a yoga mat and I can stay on the yoga mat the entire time. Okay? So I'm not moving all around the room. I'm not changing my position at all. In fact, it's exactly the same on the way up as it is on the way down, on the right side and on the left. There's no difference. It's minimal movement, even though I'm moving the entire time. So, if you can watch, you can see I go from here to my hand, up to my elbow, up to my hands. Pull through, hinge, come up, swipe that back leg, come to standing. Lunge back, swipe that back leg, hinge, draw my line out, come out of the hinge, sit through, back to my elbow, back to my back. Okay, switch to the other side, it's the same thing. To my elbow, to my hand. Pull that leg through, hinge. Take that hand away, come up, swipe that back leg, just standing. Tap that leg, reverse the lunge, swipe the leg, draw that straight line out, come out of the hinge, pull that leg through, back to my elbow, and back to my hand. To the chest, and roll to the side. Okay, so there you have it. That's the get up. Broken down all the different parts, a bunch of different whys, and I'm sure I can think of a million other things to add into that. So please ask me questions, comment. Let's dissect this even further in comments and talk about what areas you're having trouble with, what things you are still uncertain about, anything. Let's keep this going. I'd like to do more videos like this about different things. So if you have other movements and kettlebell movements or even just general strength movements that you want to discuss further and see more about, comment below, let me know. All right, have fun.